So, very good evening to all of you, and welcome to this 1 week workshop on generative AI for data-driven decisions. So, I will just wait for 2 minutes till people join. But those who have joined, what I'm doing is before I formally begin. So, this is a drive link that we have to use. The drive link I am posting it on the chat. So, the drive link is here. Means it was in the mail also. So please, those who are there, means they can refer to this link directly. Right now, anybody who has access to the link will be allowed to view the contents because it's the first day. People are not habitual in my way. After that, it will be restricted to the registered email IDs. But for today, anybody who clicks the link will get that access right here, right now. It avoids lots of repeated emailing from my side whenever I want to share me or anybody of the resource personnel. Whenever they want to share some resources, we just drop it in the Dropbox, this Drive folder, and people are able to pick it up from there. So it avoids the emailing multiple spams. So let us begin because I want to keep it. The content has to be covered. There's a lot of content. So let us begin. I formally welcome you all again to this 1 week online workshop. And just let me start with the full screen mode so that you can see in better way. Fine. So this is your participant's profile. This should come on the screen. Just a okay. Now the participant profile is coming onto the screen right now. So most of you are professors who are enrolled in this. Majority of you. Then there are 33 participants all together, and 9 of our participants have been from the previous workshops. They have attended my previous workshops, and 24 are the new participants. Majority of our, as already said, are faculty members, and some are students, and some people are from industry. And this will be the agenda. So along with me, there are two other resource persons, Dr. Rev and Dr. Shreya Sangal. And all three of us will be guiding you as per the schedule that is on the screen right now. This was not there in the earlier poster or the handout that we have shared. So today and tomorrow, I will be covering with you all the prompt engineering fundamentals. In that, I will be dealing with uh, around 15 to 16 prompt patterns we'll be discussing. Those prompt patterns which are critical for the other 4 days. After that, on day three, Dr. Ray will come and he will take with your quantitative data analysis part, and day four will be your qualitative data analysis. The last 2 days, 1 hour each approximately, it will be shared between me and Dr. Shreya. And this is the flow of this workshop. And sorry for that, I have not kept a formal inaugural session inviting some people because it will take another 30 minutes and I wanted to keep this session short because after 9 p.m. people start to leave and they have their dinner time. So pardon me for that. And we will just have a group photo for, and after that I will begin the session, open this workshop formally, go to the logistics and all. So as requested, just if you can share your, keep your webcams on for a moment. Just give me a second. Yes, thank you for that. And now we can begin this workshop formally. So just so I hope everybody has installed one of these softwares. Maybe you have access to either ChatGPT and all. Either one of this, anyone will do, but whichever you have, it
Can
will
we
be
use it
better.
on the browser? So,
Yeah, browser, anything that you can have access to, it will be fine from my side. I will be demonstrating you to you. It's a completely hands-on session, so no need to worry. And I will be having access to your chat screen because I have a dual screen setup. So anytime you have any doubt, just post it on the chat or whenever I ask you. It will be a very interactive session. So mics are free, but in case you have, whenever I'm explaining something, I would request if you have a doubt, just put it on the chat. Whenever I get a time, I will just take it up promptly. So let me share my screen back again. So now my screen is coming to you. Please confirm that because I'm
Yes,
going to
that's
start
right.
the experiment.
That's
Yes.
right.
Okay.
Yes.
So I will be assuming that all of you, I will not take any assumption that somebody has been practicing, though I know you are interested in this, so you have been there. But my assumption will be there. Let us start from the scratch, so nobody left behind. So once you have any app of the order chat GPT, this will be the screen that will be visible to you. So couple of things in your chat GPT that you should pay attention to right now. This is where we will write our prompts. This is a portion that where I'm typing something, anything in gibberish right now. So this is a portion when we will discuss the prompt patterns. There we will type the prompts. Followed by, you will see that this portion lag. This is tools just at the bottom. So in case we want to create an image, you want to search the web. So at that point in time, you have to click on this, like create an image. So it will take a different stance. If you want to change, like search the web. So in case what is there happens is this chat GPT and all, they have a memory foundation. If you say that, let me just show you what I mean by that. It is called a cutoff rate. So what does it means is the output is saying that my knowledge is up to date of June 2024. So till last year, whatever information was there on the web, mostly it is incorporated it. For that, it doesn't need to search the net. But in case you want something that is very recent, so in that case, this tools search the web option can be activated, and then it can go to the web and can get the information. Apart from this, this image is showing this customized GPT option and this memory function. So two things I want to make it clear at this point in time. If you go to the right hand type side or the top, right hand top, and click wherever your image is coming or some icon is coming if you're logged in, this personalized option is there. So if you open it, you can write your name. What should ChatGPT call you? I've written my first name. What do you do? You can write it. If you want ChatGPT to personalize the outputs, then you can feed some basic details. And also, if you want some language, right, what traits should ChatGPT have? It simply means while it is responding to you, how the language should be. Okay. It's not mandatory to do anything also over here. It's totally your choice. I'm just letting you know what this screen can help you to do. Okay. And other thing was, if you go to the settings, this is very critical thing. If you go to the settings and go to personalization, go to settings, go to the personalization, you will find this memory option is there. So what does this memory option chat GPT does is it stores your chats. And in future interactions, it uses this information to give you options. And now that's a debatable thing. It's totally your personal choice. If you wanted to remember your conversations and use it for your future interactions, you can you make it on. Reference save memories, you can keep it on. If you do not want, you can keep it off. It's a debatable thing. Some people like to keep it on, some people like to keep it off. It's totally your choice. But I've told you what is the both sides, pros and cons of it. And the last thing in
So,
this episode,
I'm so sorry. I'm disturbing you. What can you please define what is a trait? In that
it is
personalized, there is an option you were talking
how
about.
it should talk to you. You should talk to you in formal manner or chatty, witty, skeptical, traditional manner. It's just like how the
I did
language
not
of
get
the
those
output.
options. I did not get those options.
Are you using the app or web-based version?
Web one, sir. Maybe is that
Maybe I'm. This is my app version. Maybe it's because
okay?
of that. But it's totally uh, it's not mandatory for to do. It's part of workshop, but letting people know that what it can do. It's
Sure.
not needed.
All right. Thank you.
Only one thing that was critical is I have to start a new chat. So people, if you see on the left hand top where I'm hovering my mouse right now, you will see that there is an option of new chat. So over and over again, as I will demonstrate you how to use these prompt patterns, this new chat option will be used multiple times so that the memory gets refreshed. Right now, you keep on interacting in the same chat, if you do not start a new chat, what is going to happen is that it will refer it to the current chat at least, even if your memory function is off. Then also in the current interaction that you are having, it will remember what it has given you the previous response, and the future response will be based or use that information. To avoid that, for our demonstration purposes, whenever I ask you to start a new chat, you have to just click over here. Okay? Before typing anything, this on right hand top, there is a temporary chat option. So temporary chat option is can be toggled over here. If you this tick comes, then it says that this is a temporary chat. This chat won't appear in history, use or update ChatGPT's memory. So again, it's totally your choice if you want to keep it go into the memory, allow it to use it to train the model. Uh, you can keep it off, or if you do not want to allow it, you can keep it on. So these are the two things I wanted to highlight to you of your privacy or sensitivity issues, if in case you were not familiar earlier. The free version also can preserve your in case there is a sensitive content you do not want it to remember. It's totally your choice. But apart from that, if there is any doubt in this setup, just let me know. Just I'm going to the shared folder. The shared folder, the drive link that I've sent it to you to explain for the next 2 days at least, because the other resource persons will share their content in due course of time. For right now, for today and tomorrow, when I'm going to interact with you, what are the resources given to you? Okay. So as after some brief general introduction about generative AI that I will give to you, I will be delving into different types of prompt patterns. And these prompt patterns are basically, it has gone to my, yeah. So if you see the right-hand column, this is a summary overview sheet. This sheet will be very helpful to you when I discuss. I will start from the top, but these are 24 patterns that I have used for my 4 days workshop. Because I have reduced the content to 2 days, so it is very unlikely I will cover all the 24 patterns in uh, in 2 days' time. I will be focusing on which are very critical to use as part for this workshop. But any time point in time, it will happen as I move down the pattern line, you will get confused that this pattern is looking very familiar with the other pattern that I taught or discussed of just the previous day or a minute before. So this overview sheet will help you to have a quick overview before asking me or putting in the chat comments or getting confused, to keep things on track and see in one line what this pattern is all about. The second resource that I have given to you is there are two working papers that you will find in this full document, that SSRN paper links. If you click, you will get the details, the complete working papers that I have just stored it on SSRN right now. which will give you all those 24 pattern description in much more greater detail. It's not for use during these 2 hours, but after the workshop, if you want to revise or have a great in-length reading. So there are two URLs you can click and access and free to download. You can download the working papers from SSRN. This folder, examples folder that you will have access to is the key folder to save the time for this workshop. To save the time for this workshop, what I have done is the examples that I'm going to use, okay, for the practical demonstration purposes, rather than you typing it most of the time, this sheet will open to, yeah, this is a sheet. Just let me pull it over here. What I have done is I have, just let me give it a bit of zoom, stored all the prompts that I will be using, so that you can just copy paste it rather than devoting time in while typing it yourself, so that it saves your lots of some effort and some time for this 2 hours. The two things that I have written over here is shift plus enter to change line. Yes, that is critical. That once I will start demonstrating at some point in time, I will be breaking the line and not executing. Suppose I just say, uh, tell me the capital of Delhi. Okay, so if I just press the enter, it will get executed. Sorry, capital of India is Delhi, so my bad. So Delhi, that is the wrong prompt I had given, but you got the thing that if you press enter, it will get executed. But if I want to write multiple lines of prompts while giving a line break, so then you have to use shift plus enter. So I think name the states in India. Now, if I press shift plus enter, the line will get break. If I press enter, this will get executed. But if I press shift plus enter, it will get the go to the second line, and for each state, tell me its capital. And then if I press enter, both the lines will get executed in one go. I could have easily written, somebody can say I could have easily written one line. Yes, I could have written, but so soon you will realize that the we have to break the lines. Once you are going to give some things, there are do this step one, step two, step three. Then you will like to break the lines to make your prompts neat. And making the prompts neat is not only easy for us to read, it is also easy for the GPT to understand that, okay, this is one set, this is step two, this is step three. If you write everything in one line, it will get confused and it may not execute the complete prompt as you wanted it to do. It will do something. One thing each one of us has to remember is that GPT is like a person or like an assistant who always tries to help you, who always try to give the best answer possible given the information it has. Those who are familiar with programming or some kind of coding, they know that in case some argument is not there, or if you're not familiar with any programming also, it's fine. So at least you will be familiar with Microsoft Excel. So in Excel, if any of the argument is missing, it will say that the code or the formula is not complete, the bracket is missing, or something is not present. The code in R programming or Python programming will not run. It will give you an error that this argument is missing. But GPT is that kind of stuff. If you, whatever you give, it will not ask you back until unless I will tell you how it can ask you back. But more or less, if you don't know that trick, it will not ask you back and it will answer whatever best it can do. So if it can, and it happens a lot of time, we say that GPT is not giving the right response. It is not the right response. It's basically we have not asked the right question to it. And the problem is that it will not never ask you back that this is missing, that is missing. So that is why these hallucinations words are used. But that is the problem. You have to be very careful while drafting the prompt. There's no what we are thinking in our brains. It's not getting communicated directly. There's no neural link between the two. That is not there. So whatever you write is what GPT understands, and it will execute it also. That's the issue. It will not say that please provide me some other text. So that was a bit about the GPT. Now let me go back to my slide deck. I have told about the resources. Any doubt with the resources folder? So this file of the prompts is where you need to copy it or just open it wherever you can. This document that you have prompts. Other things I will explain as and when I go. Going back to my slide deck, let me start. A bit of formal introduction that what is generative AI. So these are the systems that can create new content based on patterns learned from the training data. So they have learned some lots and lots of data. Some models, if you're familiar with, you would have heard that this is GPT-4, GPT 4.1, O3, or Claude, and there are some basic models. Then there are some advanced models. Not no need to get too much confused that which model is best, which model is poor. So all most of the time, people ask me in the workshops that which model is best for my purpose. So the analogy I give it is whenever you purchase a car. Okay? Whenever you purchase a car, there are hundreds of cars that are stored in the market. There are cars which are less than 10 lakh of rupees. Even some cars you may still get that are less than 5 lakh of rupees. Then there are cars less than 20 lakhs, less than 50 lakhs, less than 1 crore, more than 5 crores. So there are n number of cars. No car is perfect for everyone. No car is not listen, some car is good for you, some car is good for somebody else. Similar thing happens with the model. Don't compare model to model that, sir, which one I should buy. Should I invest in a paid model? Should I go with a free version? It is just like when you purchase something like a car, you go take a test drive, you ride, and it meets your budget, it meets your constraint, it meets your requirements. If it is fulfilling that, you don't need maybe a top end. So this is what I always answer. So if your day-to-day work, they have in a scientific term, there's a limit on day-to-day working that they can do. Okay, so those who are using free versions may at some point in time run to a like a brick wall. They say that model will say that the free number for the daily quota is over. Okay, so some of you will have you heavy usage day through it day in day out. So for those people, they may need to take a paid version, but for some people, the use at this point in time maybe not that much heavy. They can manage with the free version, so that is fine for them also. So don't think that if I am showing the instructor is demonstrating with a paid version, and I should also do this, because when I will start demonstrating, I will use a cider app because I am slightly comfortable because I use it day in, day out. But it is totally same with GPT. One more thing at this point in time, I would like to tell, because these things are creating new content. But it will happen is like those who are not familiar with it for a long time, and they are familiar with some Excel or Python or any kind of uh, softwares which are not generative AI based. So whenever whatever input you give, they will give you the same output. Okay. But generative AI is based upon, in very simplistic term, I can say that there is some mathematical model and there is some probability distribution goes on. The output will not be constant. I will show you when I will do start working with generative AI when I open the app. That for uh, don't even think that a person. Let us say there are 25 people right here. Just let me see some names. So let us say Mr. Amrid or Professor Asit or Cliff and so on and so forth. Whenever you run a prompt, the same prompt, I have given you my prompt sheet. We all will be just copy pasting it, but the output, the language, the number of words, and the way it is answering will differ from screen to screen. Okay, even without starting the new chat, if you just say to run that same prompt again, the output will be same in the essence, but it will not be same in the word by word. Is this thing making sense to you? You can just let me know by thumbs up also if what I've just told is making sense to you.
Yes, Professor.
Samrita ji, that is the reason because it's not a formula based thing that what you force an input, it will give you same output. It's based on a probabilistic model. There's a temperature control. I will not get into technical content on day one. On the first start, people will get confused. But how much creativity you want to give, it can be controlled in the model. How much uh, Okay, so if this explanation is clear, that is fine because people will get intimidated if I go with too technical content. But let us say, very simple, you can control the creativity. Even if you set the creativity to zero, then also some variability will happen. So how it works is that it transforms massive data sets into statistical patterns and uses these patterns to generate novel and contextually relevant responses. And lastly, as I was explaining, yes, improves through better models. There are two ways if you can get better responses. The first is for sure you can get better models. They will be trained on more number of variables. Right now, the variables have introduced पहले तो thousands में रहता hundreds of thousands. Right now, it has gone to millions of variables on which the model is trained. So yeah, the higher the model number is there, like ChatGPT 2 is slightly less better than the ChatGPT 3, then 4 is more better than 3, 4.5 is more better than the GPT-4. But yes, but the other way, when you don't want to pay money because the dollar symbol is there, better the models, yes, but you have to spend money. But you are coming for this first 2 days, you can also improve the output by giving better prompts. Better prompting also will solve lots and lots of your purposes, and rather than going for a higher end models. At some point in time, yes. At some point in time, maybe let us say some people will hit
I'm so
some
sorry.
people will hit
Prompts can also change from GPT to Claude and Gemini.
prompts will not change. Prompt is what you are typing right now. Just type in the previous screen, like what is India? Tell me the capital of India or capital or name of the state. So prompt is nothing but the language, that's the formula, the text that you're giving.
Okay, there
So
there
it
may not
totally
be any difference.
it will miss the prompt language can change based upon your knowledge of prompting. How many patterns do you know? How much creatively can you combine the patterns? That is what the agenda for the next 2 days is. How to write a better prompt to get a better response. And irrespective of the model that you use, for the same model, if you start writing better prompts, your output will improve. And I will start demonstrating that in very short time. Just 2, 3 this theoretical slides and then completely hands-on. Okay. So what are the key differentiators? That they move beyond rule-based systems, that all the programming and whatever, suppose you do Excel and or you do Python, it never understand the context in which you are asking. If you are asking from data visualization, it will never understand the context. It will just take in the data, it will just take in your variables, and it will give you with the scatter plot or whatever diagram you want to do. But generative AI has the power to understand the context in which you are asking the question. Okay. So we will, I will also demonstrate you, we will work parallelly that how to make GPT understand what is the context in which this I am asking you, and then you gave me the relevant response based on the context. It is capable of both following instructions and creative generations. And lastly, you can use it's a multimodal. It's not only you can give text, you can give code that you will be doing in the Google Colab, that you can give the codes to run also. Images, I will be using it today also, and then some later sessions also, we will be using images to interact. And then we are not going to use audio because we are not having ready MP3. But yes, you can verbally, you have that speech function. You can use that speech function, or even you can upload your MP3 files to it and interact with it. So these are the some of the commonly used tools. I will be using it either the this ChatGPT version 4.1 as I've told in the mail. For image demonstration purposes, I will be using Delhi. Code generation, Dr. Rave will be using Google Colab, and for the quantitative analysis session because that is free to use for his purposes, for our purposes.
So could you go back to the previous slide once? Thank you.
So some of the applications that I will not just reading the bold points that it can use for work knowledge work transformations. You can use for creating summaries and doing some kind of data analysis to that. You can create email drafts. Many people started with this. Even I started with this, write some formal email to be sent in a professional manner. This is for most of the students or most of the early learner. This is the first touch point that either we are summarizing some text or asking to write some email for us. Then as we move down the line, we start to use AI for research purposes or some insight generations. So then it can be used for decision support systems also. It can be used for, if you give the context where what is the problems are, it can be used to develop your cases. For if you want to prepare for a meeting, today I will be demonstrating to you for whenever a pattern, relevant pattern will come, a role play pattern, that how can you prepare your students or anybody yourself also to for some interviews. So meeting preparation and having some follow-ups, or if you want to have alternative viewpoints. In case you have certain things, but you want to have other ways to achieve the same kind of task. So one of the examples that I personally use generative AI that I can share right now with alternative viewpoint is there. I am using generative AI to write cases, small caselets, let us say 1500 to 2000 words for my class discussion purposes, because I find, okay, those who don't know me, I am a faculty at BITS Pilani that you have seen, but I teach course for healthcare marketing, marketing to healthcare professionals. My class has 100 plus working doctors, and the problem that the past instructor faced before I started was they are not able to adapt the content or the problems in the context of healthcare professionals. So one of the problems was during the exams, so for the marketing subjects, it's like a case-based exams where we give some, because it's a 2 hour exam, so we cannot give a Harvard case study of 30, 40 pages. They will not be able to read. And so we have to develop short cases and small cases. Generally, after 4 or 5 cases, even if you try your best to purchase the cases, you will get exhausted. Harvard will say there are no more cases, means IB or whatever repository you purchase. And it is not like you can give an order tonight and get the output tomorrow. But that was a challenge till I learned to generate write cases not for publication purposes but for class evaluation purposes using generative AI. So then also there is a thought block I get. Okay, I have written, let us say, 7 to 8 cases. I have evaluated everything. And now for healthcare professionals, I get a thought block. What new problem I can create that can still be relevant for these people, for the students who are going to solve, but it's not a repetitive of what I've already asked, because they have access to all the previous papers. That's a mandatory requirement at BITS. You cannot take away the paper or its solution. For every paper I give, I have to give its propose, let us say, solution guidelines on the marking scheme. So my idea is not to repeat word by word or something. At this point in time, I can have this alternative viewpoint. I say that these are the 4 or 5 cases I have written. What kind of new problems? Tell me 3 or 4 different new problems which I can ask given the context. This is why I was saying it understand the context. I tell that my context is I'm a marketing faculty. The class is healthcare doctors. 100 doctors are there who have at least 5 years of work experience. So now tell me, given these problems, without repeating them, what are the alternates viewpoints or alternative views of problems that I can have? So this is where it tells me back that though, okay, given excluding these 5, 6 problems, these are 5, 6 more interesting ideas for you to choose from. So it becomes an interactive session. Okay, I say that I choose this first idea. Tell me how I can build. So then it becomes to and fro interaction. Only thing is that because I have written, let us say 5, 6 cases that I have published, some in IB or some in some other journal, so I know the broad case outline. So this is also very important. Do not ask ChatGPT something that you cannot evaluate. That is my humble request to everybody who attends this workshop or those who have already attended my previous workshops. Do not ask something that you are not capable to evaluate. It's not a source of truth. It You say hallucination, during its hallucination it can give you some response that is not correct. Do not ask something that has some uh, like do and die situation. I do not ask for medicine recommendation. That is the common example. Do not ask for medicine recommendation. It can give you some recommendation that is not exactly correct. So if you're not capable to evaluate the output, please do not use GPT for your purposes. If you if you're not if you're capable to evaluate the output, I'm not asking the process, whatever it is giving. The case it develops, I know that the first paragraph has to be introduction in which the problem has to come, then the company background, then alternatives, this and that. I know. So when the case body is generated, I can evaluate. So for me, it's like a proofreading, but that is what I hope you get. So Samarpita ji, I will get to this when alternative viewpoint patterns come, but just letting you know. I do not need to upload any doc. It's just like a conversation. I just keep on typing what else can be done. Tell me some 2, 3 ways. We will always all get a practice to do. There's no need to do an word doc kind of thing. For marketing also, you can use customer experiences. I use it for my teachings for to give tailored, let us say here what is saying, enhance customer support, this and that. For my practical, again using the healthcare context example only, I give customized questions, and then during the feedback, doctors on they say that okay, this experience telling marketing, what is marketing, rather than creating value for customers, but when I say that creating value for patients, then suddenly it starts making sense to them. So those are from marketing background or not, but simply we say marketing is like a value creation kind of activity in one line, in two, three words. So for them, if I say value creation, not for customers, once I say you creating value for the patients, so then it suddenly becomes uh, adaptation in their context. So that becomes a personalized content. And last is, yeah, operational efficiency, that it takes care of administrative tasks and process documentation automation that can be done automatically. Emails can be generated. You can say AI reply, and these days it becomes very efficient to do that. You just tell what are the key points. So today morning I got a mail from one of the prospective students. What happens is that because I'm alphabetically AC, so my name comes top when somebody clicks on BITS faculty profiles of management department. So I don't know why everybody feels that I'm the customer care representative. And what they do is whatever problem they have, if they want to apply for part-time PhD or do anything, that's this thing, they come to me. So earlier, it feels bad to ignore. But also I feel like what to reply each one of time. So I just use AI reply. I say thank you for. I just give whatever my points I want to give. Not the complete text. I just write in bullet points. Thanks. Thank the respondent. Tell I'm not the right person. And for more information, go to this link. That's the bits admission profiling. Just three or four words for 3 points. Split the line, split the line, split the line. That's why I showed you control enter, control enter, control enter. And I say execute it. And then it drafts me a proper mail. It picks the line, picks the name of the person who has sent the mail, also adds my signature. And what would have taken my at least 5 to 10 minutes of my time is just executed in a minute. The other party will also understand. I will also not feel bad that I have not responded. And that's how it helps in my operational efficiency tasks. And for organization, yeah, it has strategic value. So it enables organization to scale human expertise and reduce repetitive tasks. And they can focus on high value activities. It is true. Now that's it. Now we begin the prompt engineering. So those who are there, just take a moment, just get your chat GPT screens up. We are That's what's all about the theory. So what our goal is going to be that we are going to transform your AI interactions from basic queries to strategic business tools or any strategic tools where you're going to write the proper way to interact. Even after just 1.5 hours, you will, I hope, those who are repeating, they may not find the examples will be new for them for sure also because I've created these examples. Seeing the profile of the class, there are people from various backgrounds. This is not my private workshop where having like people with same background, but this time the background is too different. So I made some generic examples which everybody can understand. So anyhow, you will leave with better prompting, not even today, but tomorrow also. And those who have seen the previous workshop, you may find the difference that I'm giving you a disclaimer. It was uh, very step by step. If you recall, I go with one prompt at a time, then I start discuss mixing of the prompts, but not today. Today, even in the prompt example guide that I have given to you, within after 5, 6 pattern only, I will introduce how to mix the prompts, two patterns. Though in the previous I kept it for the fourth day, but that is not the way I'm going to deliver it today. I will be delivering it within somewhere down the line today also. Only I will explain it. So what has happened is we started with summarize this, do that. That was very broken kind of prompting. That is what you call basic prompts or broken prompting. From there, we started to improve. We made a journey to some strategic prompting where we started writing some better prompts. But right now, These are pattern-based approaches. Okay, one thing is that I am going to discuss 15, 16 patterns. My documents will give you 24 patterns, but still they are not complete, exhaustive list. They are exhaustive in the sense from my day-to-day perspective. For the last 1.5 years, I have not used anything outside this. What I am going to cover today, whatever 5, 6 prompts that I will be leaving from my own working paper, I don't use in, day out. Whatever I am using from my daily uh, day-to-day interaction with ChatGPT, I will cover because those are the very fundamental, very foundational patterns that once you master it, you will be solving more or less, let us say, 80 to 90% of your problems with ChatGPT or any kind of LLM that you use. All the inconsistent results will be reduced to a certain extent. It comes with practice. Okay, I will show you how to even improve after, let us say, it happens that we are not getting the results in first point in time. Yes, it happens. What happens? We keep on interacting back and forth till we get the result that we want. Earlier, what used to happen is people get used to get tired. They say, okay, yaar, whatever happened, this is the portion that has happened. I will improve it outside GPT. Slowly, as you master your skills, you start improving within ChatGPT also. Then you can ask GPT at the end because that interaction would have gone. You can ask GPT that if I wanted to execute this task in one single prompt, tell me that prompt that would have allowed you to understand. And that is very, means people find this boring, but that is how I learned. Okay. At the start, I told you there is no neural network. Yes, it's no neural network, but you can say, okay, GPT, if you want to do, I do wanted to do all this in one prompt. Tell me that prompt. It will give you that prompt. Then you can read, okay, I missed this, I missed this. If I wanted to execute in this one go, I would should have given this complete set of text or the prompt. This is how over time we learn how to use ChatGPT effectively. Okay, then there are strategic advantages. I do not want to waste time into that. Just read the bullet points that there is some efficiency, consistency, versatility, delegation, and quality control, especially for group-based tasks. It's very important because I already told that there's a probability distribution and the output will not be similar, but at least to a certain extent they can match. The other person who is reading, if you do not give the prompts or the patterns properly, the language, there is no proper coding language. It is very easy. Those who are at Excel, Python, or R programming, if you have, I am familiar with R programming, there's a package called tidyverse. So any person who knows tidyverse and whatever I type, that person will instantly make sense to that person. That person will understand. Okay, this I want to mean this. There's no issue. But with again with ChatGPT, I told there's no hard code programming. There's no hard code that you have to assign the variable like this, execute the data visualization like this. You can write. It is so free. It is so free. You are not even bounded to have, like in R programming, if I recall, if I have to pass a data visualization chart, first thing has to come data, because R programming expect the first argument after ggplot2 has to be the data. Whatever I write, if I write anything else, it will say, it will assume it's data only. But ChatGPT is very flexible too. You cannot understand to the extent it is flexible. You can write everything else, and then at the end you write data, that this is my data file or this is my data. It's acceptable. If you write in the middle, it's at the top. It is totally flexible. But ChatGPT will understand what the other team person may not understand. So, why you have broken this into this manner? But at least if you learn these 15, 16 patterns, that are you will find these patterns everywhere. Even if you take any prompting guide or something, these patterns make easy the other person to understand what this person has done and why this person has done. It gives some kind of consistency to that and efficiency. Now let us begin. So I've explained to you that 15 to 16 patterns will be there. I've explained where are these resources, pattern descriptions. There's a document, a PDF document that I've requested you to read the first 2 pages. Yes, Paniji, I will share the PPT. For 6 months, I have not shared, but you can have the PPT right now. This PPT has become almost a resource open book. I will share the PPT. For the past workshop, I have not shared, but you can. As the slide progresses, because else you will get confused. So what has happened? Pattern description, that's a PDF document that I have requested you to refer so that we can speed it up. I will show you for brief, but I expect that at least most of you would have read to make the I times. Contextual statements are there in the slides also and are there in your SSRN paper if you downloaded. Meanwhile, the contextual statements are nothing but they're templates. Like let us say blueprint. If you want, I want to use a certain pattern, what kind of language should I use? Please don't think that this language is mandatory, like a programming. You have to type blah 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 like this word by word. No, but at least in essence or overall, it should match like this. So the first pattern that and I'm just giving example is like a persona pattern. Okay, so what does persona pattern does is it makes the GPT to take a role or a thought point or viewpoint of a certain kind of person. So until unless you say that act like this person or think like that person, don't think that if you I do not write act like this person, if I write think like this person, it is fine. That is what the beauty of ChatGPT is. It is very flexible. Till you use synonyms or something that is very similar to it, it is fine, and that makes it dangerous also. But then people think that I can tell anything, it will give me the output. So till the essence remain the same, it will work fine. Okay, I hope this things make sense. Contextual statement done. Business context examples is there in the spread. This I will be not using that. That is a different document. I have given it to you. 24 prompt pattern examples. They are very verbose. In 2 hours, I cannot cover those detailed examples. All examples are there to you. Basically, my slide is nothing but these are just copy pasted text from these documents in a colorful template. That is nothing but all the examples are there. I will not be referring you, at least not today, because they are very business education context specific, and people may follow it, may not follow it. But I have very simple examples that you can easily understand for the especially for those who are learning prompt patterns for the first time. And then as you go, means this example is there, which you can always run this example. Reason why I'm giving you the examples in doc is there so that it is easy to copy paste from document to PPT. As in a PDF format, it becomes the copy pasting becomes certain issue over there. That's why this is in the doc format. What is the prompt pattern? The technical definition that is the way we document a certain structure of phrases and statements in order to solve a particular problem with a large language model. It's just nothing but the plain English or the whatever you can communicate. It's a multilingual, not only multimodal. It is also multilingual. Whichever language you want to type. One of my friends has access because I have a paid account which had allows 8 parallel users. So I've given somebody who is not a native English speaker, so he or she uses his own language. So it is you're free to use even Hindi, Urdu, or whichever language you use, it will understand. Right now it has given multi-language. The capability has increased multi-fold. So it's a way that you document certain structure of phrases. That's just a pattern. What you want to achieve with this, either you want the model to tell us just a small way, just tell us yes and no. Don't need to give me a elaborate answer. Just tell me yes and no, or you want to model to summarize something, ask us questions. This is the thing that I will tell you. It can ask you questions also back. How we will see, and always include certain things in the output. If you want like a signatures or some disclaimer that whenever I generate an output, write a line that this output is generated by AI. And if I want to do for every output and I do not want to type it again and again, so you can do that also by writing a correct prompt. We are going to see today. You can also want to know that what do we make sure it always includes these things in and its output. Okay, suppose you want that it should include the variable names. Suppose you supply the data in qualitative and quantitative, it will happen that even if you're not told, you want always to have a summary about the data or something's there. So how it can be done. And if you want to make your output formatted in a particular way, that's the third pattern, if I'm not wrong, that's a template pattern that we will discuss today only. That if you want the output in a very particular way that we have in mind, that this is a way the title should come first, then a bullet point summary, and then some text should come first. How we can communicate it? We should never assume anything. It will never happen. Okay? It will never happen. You should never assume anything that it understands. It's not stupid. But Uh, you have never not told that LLM or GPT give me this output in this format that I want to have. Once you communicate, it will give you, but you have to communicate. It is very unlikely. It is has been developing very rapidly since 2022. In after 3 years, it's very unlikely. If you specify very clearly that this is the output format, it gives you output in some other format. It will not happen. And all these types of problems that you might want to solve is by changing the pattern of your prompt. Basically, how we write them. And the prompt engineering is the means by which these large language models are programmed. Now, the first exercise begins here. There are two sets. More generic the prompt, more generic the output, and more specific the prompt, more specific the output. What I mean by that? If we do not write precisely, the output will also be very vague. If I write very precisely, the output will be very specific. And the second thing that we are going to see is immediate prompts versus prompts that span a time horizon. Some things that can only be run for, if you say that for the only one interaction. But if you want to it repeated, this is the same example using that thing that we have just seen, that repeated over and over and again. That means that should span a time horizon. Okay. So for that, we go to our GPT, and I would request you to open the document. Let me know, I will put it in a certain way so that you can follow easily. Let me know if it's visible to you, everyone. Just give me a second. Everybody can open their GPT screens and just give me a moment. Please do. Let me know this dual screen setup is visible to each one of you, or I need to just go to one screen. It's for me because I'm using a very big monitor. It's
It is
working. It's
visible.
fine for me. Visible? Okay. So the first issue that I'm going to deal with is, as you can see, that more generic the prompt, more generic the output. So the example I brought to you is I wanted to know specifically about. I live in Pilani, BITS Pilani campus. So nearest place to me that's a tourist spot is Jaipur, Rajasthan. But Rajasthan is famous for its palaces. So, but I will start with very generic prompt. What I will do is very generic prompt is tell me about palaces. The problem with this is, as you can see, because you are able to see all the prompts, so I will not going to ask you, but you can understand. I am giving, uh, though I wanted to know about Jaipur, Rajasthan palaces. I'm not telling that I want to know about Jaipur, Rajasthan. If I just execute, just copy paste it simply like I am doing, and just press the enter, and it will give you the output. To the best of its ability, it will give you the output, and don't assume that my output should match. It's not going to match. To some extent, it will look alike, but word by word, though, just forget it. Don't even heading by heading also don't expect. But it will, if we both are executing, tell me about palaces, it will not give you output of rivers or mountains or some other thing. That will not happen. That you have to be, that you can say. But this is, it has gone worldwide. France, UK, China, then some Taj Mahal in India also has come, but it is nowhere near that I wanted to do. Okay? Some it has generated. Just let me know. I will go slowly. Let first you have done. I'm not. Once you get a hold, then I can move fast after, let us say, 15-20 minutes. But some people who are trying this for the first time, just the easiest way to let me know is just giving me a thumbs up that people have done. Because it's a small batch, so I can easily interact. Yes, Robin, you have a hands up.
No, sir, I was about to do thumbs up.
Okay. So
So
if you are
are you
done,
using a
then
pro model or the basic
no,
version?
this is the
4.1,
GPT
yeah.
4.1. See, okay, those who are curious enough. So what is happening is I'm having access to Cider, and this is kind of app that gives you access to multiple models. Okay, so if somebody is very curious what I'm doing over here, it give me only not only advanced, but it also give me super advanced that I don't use. That my need is GPT or some basic models fulfills. The problem I see is the more complex model I go, the more responses it diverges because I need. It will give me too complicated answers that I do not. That is not my expectation. That is what where my example was. That try every model, use the free versions, try the models. You will understand which model suits your needs, and then if you hit the wall and you want to upgrade to the one which is relevant to you. Or yeah, Cider has this benefit that it gives you with a click that I can easily switch the model. I will not do that right now. That's the benefit that once you buy this app, it will give you any model you want to use. So sometimes I get fed up with one model and I say that this is not making sense. Let me try some other model because I am trying my best to make this model understand, but this model is totally not understanding. So changing the model even helps me. So in this class only somewhere down the line, I will ask you to miss maybe some quantitative data to get the output in a CSV file to a link. But not every model will do that. GPT will do that, Gemini will do that, and Claude and whichever model I have access to will not do that. Give you a output in a CSV format straight away file to download. I didn't knew that, and in one class I was presenting, and I didn't notice that my model was not GPT, and some other model was running, and it was showing it was not running. I was not able to make sense that point in time. So for my general purposes, GPT is fine enough for me. Sometimes yeah, uh, other my favorite model is Gemini model that I use, Google model. Either way, because to make the classes will be using, I assume this GPT free version. So I'm using this 4.1 that outputs to some extent. But okay, so Cider issue is clear. And so quickly you can just copy paste it, maybe skip one or two, and then you will say if I do the third one straight away. So then it was as expect you will you should have gotten hold that it will give me about most of the palaces in Rajasthan. So it will starts with Jaipur also, but it will go to Udaipur also and to all the extent wherever it was able to find. Jodhpur also it has went and it will give the output. Jodhpur, Udaipur, this and that. So this is how most of you will getting a hold that from generic output we are going to specific output. More specific the prompt, more specific the output. So now if I want to hit the bullseye, I will just copy the last one. Don't worry. Okay, one more thing important. Don't worry if there is a spelling mistake. There is no need to write capitals, proper sentence case. Doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. Though because to look professional, I have formatted this document. It doesn't matter if I just let the bullet point remain. It doesn't matter. It will execute what I want. So don't think that you have to write very pristine English else it will not understand grammatically correct. No, because this is a professional workshop, so I have formatted it, yes, but there's no need. If spelling mistake in you will see when I will start typing, it will happen. Let it be until unless due to that spelling mistake, your the meaning changes. At that point in time, there's no need. Okay, spelling mistake, let it be. No need to correct it. So I hope you have understood the first point that I wanted to emphasize. More generic prompt, more generic output, more specific font, more specific output. Right?
Yes, sir.
Two things. Okay. Okay. Next thing is immediate prompt. Yeah, immediate prompt versus prompt that span a time horizon. For that, uh, as I requested from the start, please start a new chat. If you're in a GPT screen, again, I'm just reading it for one more time. Those who are doing for the first time, you have to click on this new chat because I wanted to forget about Palace's interaction. That's the reason. So for that reason, start a new chat, and I am for me, it's a new chat on right hand side. So just to let you know, for where you are going to find this is a new chat option will come. Just copy paste the first one. The exercise that I'm asking it GPT to do is tell me in 50 words about India, and at the beginning type the answer to my queries. That's in quotes. So my query is tell me about India, but I want at the beginning type the answer to my query is. Like the example I was saying, at the end type that it's an AI generated response. You can please free, okay, don't feel, in case you are curious enough, please feel free to amend it. If you want that the answer to my query is okay, this is an AI generated response, please free to make the changes. It's not a foundation to copy paste exactly the same thing. To help to speed up the class, I've given this document so that you can, those who want to do just copy pasting, they can do. But those who want to be creative enough and those are static quick in typing, you are most welcome to change. Suppose you want to have that this is an AI generated response, please just what you need to do is just delete it, copy it. But reason to write in quote is to very clearly tell this is what I want, not the complete text. It will understand it because in the quote that at the beginning type the answer to my query is this. So because I specifically said in 50 words, I've given it a constraint. That is one of the pattern that I also tell, but I've constrained it to 50 words only. It may be 47, 35, but it will not be 500 words, it will not be 100 words. Ballpark. Oh, exactly 50. It may not be exactly 50 also. I'm not sure. But it can be 46, 47, but it will not be 75 also. That is the thing. But you see, it has answered that the answer to my query is. This is what I answered, asked it to do. Okay. Now, without starting a new chat, now let's hope for the best. Sometimes it learns from the previous interaction. Okay, it has not learned, so the agent is happening. In the previous, I said that answer to my query. Right now, in the second thing I said, what is 2 plus 3? It is giving me the answer to 2 plus 3 is 5. It has not added this text that I asked it to do. The answer to my query is it has not asked it. It was still my query. Okay. Let us do for one more time because it can happen. Let me see what is. To some people, I'm still telling it's not happening for me. To some people, it can happen. What it does is this GPT has evolved so much. It will see when I'm asking about similar things. It can, for some people it can happen. It should not happen. I tried my best. I have done a rough work, but it can happen that if when it understands that you are asking for in 50 words, in 40 words that I'm asking, it understands that this question is similar to the previous one of the question that was asked in this same chat. So it can happen. It should not happen, but it can happen that it adds the answer to my queries. To when they identify the question is same. I tried my best because I run it. It's not happening, but in case it's happening, then it's the only reason it is. For some of only it happened, but it should not happen because a very small batch. It should not happen. But this was immediate prompts because that right now the example is immediate prompts, only one prompt. But if I write, please pay attention to this. If I write very clearly from now on, I have bolded it over here. There's no need to bold anything from here. But from now on is a very critical word. From now on is a very critical word. It is just like you write from now on, ChatGPT says, oh, what from now on, what I have to do? So from now on, whenever you type an answer, you answer anything, type my response is at the start. अब वो start लिखो, beginning लिखो, front लिखो, before doing, that's all fine. There I wrote beginning. Intentionally, I wrote at the start over here so people can see. Start and beginning are synonymous. And I what I've written, my responses. But from now on, the moment you do not need to ask anything right now, you just execute it, press the enter button. You will see it says that my response is acknowledged. It has added while giving the response, but also it has understood that from now on, whatever I'm going to answer next has to have this my responses. You can use any of the previous also, or it doesn't matter, right? Whatever you want to do. Now you see in this particular interaction, I didn't write. You need to write from my responses, but because from the previously I given a hard coded it in its memory that from now on do this task, it has added my response is because this is what I asked. That my response is.
So, is it because of the bold that you have used that
No,
this
no,
is?
bold का नहीं, bold का तो for you to understand the participants, because in the slide it's a carry
Okay.
forward from now on to make the participant link. Bold has no issue, but the from now on is like a trigger word. Like from now on, yeah, what I need to do? Tell me. From now on, till then you say stop doing this or you start a new chat. Whatever you do, I'm just giving you a let us say 30 seconds. Write anything, but whenever it will generate, it will write my responses at the beginning. Just everyone do anything, type anything. But till you don't start a new chat, it will keep on doing from now on my responses or whatever you have asked it to set. This is what prompts that span a time horizon means. Morpita ji is saying that is it only for this window or for all? Sarvata ji, that is what I mean to say. This window means this chat. If you say new chat, it will refresh memory, blank slate.
So, is there any other words which we have to focus on, which will repeatedly come, just like from now on?
That's a best word that you can use. And what are synonyms you have in mind? Do you have any synonym in mind other than from now on?
Henceforth.
Henceforth is will. Henceforth is work. Henceforth is work. And the best way to is to experiment yourself. Just if you say henceforth, start a new chat and you write henceforth and run. But for the past 2 years, it was from now on is world. People will easily write. You do not need to use synonym, and I use it very tremendously. बहुत बार use करता हूँ. I do use it whenever I'm making questions. I have to write marks equal to. I will input the marks later, but when I'm making an MCQ question or any assignment questions, I say that generate 5 questions. At the end, always add marks equal to. Later, I will insert the marks what per question mark, but I want to have mandatorily have. Give me 5 subjective questions, and at the end of each question, write marks equal to so that I can add later.
Sir, what is the importance of this new chart?
Importance of new chat is to allows you to clear the memory in case whatever it. Sometimes it happens that you will feel confused that the interaction has become so complex, it nothing is making sense because it has you have been interacting and this interaction builds upon the previous interactions. So it can happen. GPT is also confused. You are also confused, and rather than untangling the wires, it is always not on always, but it's most of the time you will find it's a good practice to start a new chat. Let us start again. Like my students also have when I say that after the concepts after 20 minutes, have you understood? They say no. Rather than asking where you have not understood, sometimes if I understand, think that it's better to start all over again. I say let's start again. So that is why you say let's start again.
Then till we got our appropriate answer, no need to go to the new chart.
Miss, if your task is completed, you will not go. But from next day, if you have some new task and if you continue within the same window, it will use the previous responses to continue. See, within the same chat, it remembers what you have answered or it has generated a response of what prompts you have given. So in case there's a new task, it's a very good practice to start a new chat only. If you see my history, you will find hundreds of new chat this week, this month. I keep on whenever I'm starting a new task, I start even if for day 3, day 4, when I was having a backup exercise because your quantitative personnel has highlighted to me that his electricity issue is there. So though I have shown you today that he will be doing it, but in case his electricity issue comes, then I will instantly pitch in, and rather than doing in Google Colab, I will do some other thing and get Excel 2 in GPT. He will take you into the Google Colab and do the generative exercise over there. But I have also a backend exercise prepared in which I will import Excel and reason the Excel within this GPT. So that's the backend. So for that, I do not need that interaction to be carried forward, as it will remember that interaction and give you very weird answer right now.
Professor, sorry to interrupt. Just have one more
No,
question.
no, sorry, sir. Please.
Professor, see, I use ChatGPT for both my personal as well as for professional thing. And for example, like suppose if I am using it for professional things, right? Like how can I group these chats? Say, for example, if I'm working on RFP or if I'm working on a SOW document, I want to segregate these chats between my personal and professional. For example, like today, I'm attending this class. This is my personal thing, right? I don't want to mix these things
Sir,
up.
easy
So,
answer. Make two accounts. Make two accounts. Two free accounts.
okay,
That's the easy answer. Let us
okay,
keep it on like that rather than going it very technical. Make two accounts and
okay,
make one with your work ID. Then this history will differ.
okay.
Oops.
Got you.
Okay.
Thank you.
Then this history will come with that account you're logging. That's the easy answer. Let's keep it that. Okay.
No, even actually, I'll go a little bit deeper also. I handle a bit of projects actually into multiple portfolios. So, for example, like oil and gas, healthcare, and all. So, I'm just trying to segregate the chats based on the customer. So, is it possible any way that I can group these chats to a particular customer or to a particular industry, even in terms of my professional chats?
So
Is
right now, rather than Cider and the free versions, I don't have any information on that. At
okay,
the best, what you can do is you can ask your after the what I mean to say is you can ask for a summary of the conversation and then you can store it in a document and then load those documents. But that is
got it,
may not solve your purposes. But what you can do is save the document and then load these four documents in the next chat before starting the fresh interaction. You can say that please use the previous information. But right now there's no feature of clubbing that I can see. Here it
got,
doesn't happen.
got it. Thank you.
Maybe some starred option is there, but to what extent it can do, I'm not sure.
Sure,
It's
thank you.
very app specific. Okay. So now class, I come to the this patterns. So I just go to this image that I have. So in one view, bird view that you can see. Okay, some of you may be finding I'm zooming in, zooming out. Please, not sorry for that, but I'm letting you know I'm not moving. It's basically rather than when I move slightly forward and backward, this AI enabled webcam adjusts automatically. I go, it brings me center of the screen. So I'm not dancing across, but that's how this canvas works. So this screen that you are seeing is basically a screenshot from my paper that I have taken, the working paper. Basically, five headers that we are going to see. The key prompts: foundation patterns, interaction patterns, analytical patterns, and let us say blah 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 blah. No need to focus. I'm not going to reach on those columns for today. This is the foundation pattern that I'm going to start with. These are the very key, easier, but the most important. Once you learn this, you can replicate in your own domain. It doesn't matter if you're a doctor, if you are a coder, if you are an industry person, you're a student or a professor, it doesn't matter. Just master, let us say, the first four of ones. The bottom ones are not important for right now, the our purposes. Let us say the first four columns are very important. Within this, I'm going to start right now with the foundation patterns, with the persona pattern. So in simple English, what does persona patterns does is it makes GPT take a, let me go to the persona pattern straight away. Foundation patterns, basic role assignment. So everyone, I would request you on your side, I would request you to open this pattern description PDF. I will not be opening it again and again on this screen, but this is the way it goes. The reason I given you this as a PDF that I tell to in every workshop is that people have different reading speeds. That uh, we have to know. Even if for such all four lines, some person may read it within, let us say, 10 to 15 seconds. Some people may like to read it slowly and take 1.5 minutes of time. So the way it is going to go is everyone should have this PDF open on their systems. When I say, when I'm explaining it in plain English, that is very easy to understand what this pattern is does. I will give you some break to, let us say, 10 seconds, 15 seconds to read this text, though I've asked you to read it, but still, if you want to have a confirmation, what you have read earlier is what I was saying also. And in case you get later confused, suppose I have moved to the third pattern and then you say, what was the first? So rather than asking me, sir, please go back to the slide because the slide, this content is not there. I cannot go back to the slide. Slide doesn't have content. Whatever content I had in my slides is almost over now. So you can go back to this document and read rather than getting confused or not asking because you do not want to or feeling hesitant. This is the way it goes. Okay. So I'm going to the slide. You can see the PDF document and listen to me. So the persona pattern. So the persona pattern simply says, or what does it does is it makes GPT take a viewpoint. Think like that person. act like that person, behave that like person, okay? Answer to me like that person. Enough of synonyms I have given, but the idea behind the thing is you make the GPT to take the let us say thinking head of a particular kind of or a particular type of person. How this person, how a doctor will behave, how an electrician or how a professor will answer to me. So this is the persona pattern. To make GPT understand how the persona pattern I'm using it. No need to tell GPT that I'm using persona pattern, I'm using XYZ pattern. That is for our understanding. Okay, that this is persona pattern. But to make GPT understand that a persona is getting activated, you have to write something like X persona X. Respond to me as persona X. X means whatever. This is a you have to fill over here. What X means. X equal to whatever you are thinking. Doctor, professor, engineer, anything. Act as persona X and respond to me. So this is a contextual statement. No need to have word by word, but overall essence. This is the simplest level of a statement. Those who were there in the previous workshop may think that, okay, right, last time the something difficult was there, 5, 6, but because I'm pushing it in a way, 2 sessions, so I've kept the most basic. These two are very critical. Think like that and give me the output as this person will create. Okay. So just read, I'm holding for 10 seconds and let me know by a thumbs up that you have read the document. Then we'll go back to our GPT and perform the exercise that I have brought for you. Okay, next slide. Dr. Soni, it is getting automatically saved. You do not, there's no control S. It will always save your chat history also. If you're using GPT, if you see on the left hand side, there's an open sidebar, and here you will find. If you, one thing is that please log in. If without login, if you're using this history will not be there. So, and whenever you want to resume, one more disclaimer. Okay, at this point, I want to should give you, and even if you resume, okay, don't expect that it remembers everything. It can happen. Means if you start interacting, the chat goes on and on and on and on and on. Same chat, you will think, okay, you've forgotten this text. It happens. GPT has some limitation. Let us say. Don't expect even for the same chat in the same setting, like after 3, 4 hours, if you say try to refer something that you remember, GPT may not remember. It is totally possible. No need to get fed up at that point in time. Suppose this chat was very lengthy and there were multiple tests. What I could have easily done is there is okay. One thing is this try again option, that is like a refresh in Chat GPT window. This is a refresh. If you say try again, okay, or you can just copy it and you can say you are referring to this. Chat GPT is not having that option, which I will be having in my Cider app. In my Cider app, I have one more option. Let me open some previous chat to show you. Okay, here it's a previous chat. So this was on a previous chat. I have this option of quoting that Cider does, that ChatGPT app was not having, but I can help it to recall. I can quote, please read over here again. No need to get frustrated. It will come. If you write interact now, it will you get frustrated that after like 3 hours of continuous interaction, it suddenly forget something. It will happen. Then you can help it to recall. Either you can just copy it and paste it. Please read this text again, and it will say, okay, I remember, or you can quote it in case your particular version of the app allows. So I hope people have read at this point in time. I need to start a new chat. Please remember to start a new chat again so that it forgets everything from now on, time on, because we do not need. Please remember to start a new chat. There's no need for it to remember the previous interaction of immediate prompts and new prompts. And now you can quickly copy it. No need to start in this interaction. Within the same interaction, you can say that act as a doctor and tell me about India in 75 words. So the response that will get generated will have the keywords of the doctor a doctor will use. Okay, so it will not talk about things that are outside healthcare very fast. It will remain within healthcare. So the example it has generated is about some there's a population and there's some cuisines and dot, but also it has given you some words that the country healthcare system is evolving, addressing both tradition and modern medicine practices. If you give more word count, let me say just to show you the healthcare essence will come. Let me say 200 words for this point in time. I'm just doing it one time. So the healthcare context will be much more. Now it has given a complete text because a doctor will talk about some healthcare context. After in journal, it has given us in terms of healthcare a complete paragraph. Ayurveda, healthcare, this and that. This output will come because I've asked it to act as a doctor. The moment I change, just I'm going like let us say so second one only act as a lawyer. So people will expect content of something about Constitution of India, some about others about code, something like that should come. I'm not changing the new chat. I'm continuing the same chat, but just increasing the word count slightly. Now you see from the very first line, it has started British law. No need to read the text. Just get the essence what it's trying to do. No need to read the text. So Supreme Court is here, and some high courts is here, some governance, and now there's no talk about healthcare. This is how the hat is changing, and these outputs are coming. This is about persona patenters. You tell act as this person and give it out. How this is important in my some person asking for those are professors because it's easy for me to tell. So I tell them whenever I'm writing the case, I give it the role of act as a expert case writer, act as a person who has published in HBR cases, act as a person act as a marketing professor, assume as a role. So these are the roles I give. So how it is matters in a real life, this is the way miss this I have an example of lawyer, but when I tell that behave like a person who's published in Harvard and Ivy, so I find and that it is easy to communicate further when I'm writing a case. When I'm giving the role, act as a, or act as behave as a student and undergraduate student and see I give upload my PPTs and I tell that behave as an undergraduate student who is the first year and tell me the complex terms and behave as a graduate student. The terms that it identify are different. Once, if you're comfortable with persona pattern, just let me know. Forgot the whole for the persona pattern. The class has to give me the thumbs up. That's the only way I know that people have done, so I can move. Else, I will keep on. I will need some thumbs ups. Please remember that. Then only I will understand that you've done. Thank you. So the next pattern, you can refer to your PDF document. I will be here only. You see the screen that I've written few shots, one shot, zero shot. So these are how you give the examples to it. Sometimes it is becomes difficult. Sometimes it becomes difficult to get the kind of response that we want. And rather than manually typing prompt after prompt, prompt after prompt, it becomes very easy if you just show that this is the example and give me the output in this format. It is just like in Hindi, I say, "Bhaiya, mehrabani karo," and don't give me this whole thing. Just I want like this. And because it happens that there's no proper coding. These are all prompts you will see. So we are just typing English, English, English. Communication gap can happen. I'm not able to communicate with GPT. GPT is not able to understand. It's a lots of frustration. It helps immensely. It helps just take a screenshot or just some way convey the example that this is the way I want and give me the output. So the screen is having zero shot, one shot. I'm reading from like an Urdu style from right to left. The reason is because zero shot is without giving an example, you get an output. Right now, for the past 1 hour 24 minutes, whatever time you have typed is just like a zero shot. No example was given. Let me type something down. That is what a zero shot means. All the task was getting executed by a zero shot. No example. One shot is I'm going to demonstrate it today, and few shots is giving more than one example. One shot means I will be telling it a problem and also showing you this is a sample output. I do not want to tell it in words, but this is a sample output, and you will see how quickly it adapts. So for doing that, what I'm going to do is I'm going to start a new chat. Sorry, just new chat. I'm going back to the example file. Okay, you will find that there are two more documents other than the prompts. In the example folder that I have given access to you, there are two folders. This is my personal example. I use it because this is how my life became easier, and I became a fan of this thing. What has happened is I was preparing a course outline. I was very enthusiastic. I was very enthusiastic about developing a course on generative AI, and to be the first one to propose at my institute and to get the director's credits and all. I made a mistake. What mistake I did was, this is a part of the course outline in which there was a section of course description. Some of you may find this is okay, but let's let me know that the screenshot that you have. Just bits has the document doesn't need too large. Okay, the document doesn't need this kind of lengthy verbose course descriptions. Bits doesn't has that requirement. Bits needs very small, like two words, comma, 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 in this terse manner only. And the moment they don't find that, that's the easiest way to send the document back and say, please revise. It's fine. The document has come back to me. So the real life problem that I was having a document and which I had developed, which was not following the bits rules. I could have tried and tell him to reduce it, do this and do that, or I could use this one example and to generate the similar things. So how I'm going to do is, please download the document. Now you can use, I'm going back to the GPT to help you understand how it can be done. When you started a new chat, this is chat GPT screen only, start a new chat. I'm going to demonstrate it to you so that it helps you at least one time. You have this option of plus, add photo and file. This is your chat GPT screen, this is not Cider's. So you have this add photo and files. You can click, you can go to add photos and files, or you can also try this drag and drop in case you wherever it is getting stored to you. So just let me see if it's getting, yeah. So their document is getting attached. So the only thing is that you, and at the same time, it allows you the free version. Let me just drop it. Let me see. Yeah, both are getting attached. Once this is done, don't type anything, don't execute it. Just let me know, give me a thumbs up so that I'm sure that you are on the same page, and because some may be downloading this and that. But once you give me a thumbs up, then I will tell you what to do. Just attach it, either using a plus sign or just drag and drop, drag and drop. Both the things, just drag and drop. And once you have dragged and dropped, what you need to do is, we are going to type something. So this is the first time you're also going to type along with me. I'm going to say the document supplied is a course description for a course on GenAI. The document is not in the format needed. Correct? I will just copy paste it in case you have no need to follow. The correct format is shown in the image. Give me the output in the same format. Now you see, I'm just copying it so that you can have it easy on the chat. Rather than now you see, I have not told anything that I need a 2-word summary, 1-word summary, or whatever I want to do. like in the previous 75 words mein though you write this, write that, I'm not told anything. And what we expect, and I also expect that what it is going to do now, it will first read the content document, understand it, then go to the image, because I right now I don't need you to set the order. The document, image, because there are only two things. I don't need to tell the first document or the first image, because there are only two things, and the correct format is shown in the image. It should understand. Okay. And I want the output as given the image. Output will not come as image. This is a text software, so output will come in a text, but it should get in the format as I showed in the image, which I will show you to once more. This is the format I need. I'm going to execute it. Now you see, it has made some minor error. That's fine. I can manually correct it because it has thinking that DSC is mandatory requirement. Yes, uh, that's fair enough for its part because I'm not told that the code of my MBA is MPPA. That's fine. But you see, easily without any other prompt, by just giving you one example, that this is example, do this. My problem is solved immediately. See the beauty, how uh, efficient. Else I would have wasted lots and lots of time. I am capable enough to understand this output, yes, because this was my course outline. I can see whatever I wanted to do. Is this output yes or no? It's yes. That is what when the starter when I told. Do not ask anything if you're not competent enough to evaluate. I am competent enough to evaluate. Yes, this is what I wanted to do. My problem got solved. Just told read this document, read this image, give me the output. That's it. Done. No, I never told कि 2 words, 3 words, comma लगाना है. I never told anything. He didn't utter a word apart from this. This is the I've given you the prompt also. You can see nowhere I told. It's read the word count and analyze and give me the output. It is clever enough. It is also clever enough that the example may not be. It is asking me if you want to modify the course code. I can say yes, make it MPBA, it will form. But that's not needed. I can just copy paste it and manually can just take it MPBA. But I don't think that because these interactions takes energy, tokens, this and that. Though we are not delving in that point in time, but energy is getting consumed by each interaction. So sometimes, like if I copy paste it in a normal document, I just need to write my code is NPPA. I can manually do that rather than doing this code. It's not that efficient. No need to do that. The energy saving. Is this thing clear?
Yes, Professor.
Okay. So similarly, you can use one example, but rather than doing using your, I have one more thing that I can discuss over here only. I can use it GPT screen because I'm going to start a new chat. So rather than using the qualitative data analysis example, I can use another example to just demonstrate here also. Few shots. Few shots means more than one example. From zero shot, when no example is given, from one shot, only one example is sufficient enough to do the task. But sometimes it is possible that one example, and most of the times it will happen in your life also, that one example is not enough. You are doing certain types of tasks with one example is not enough. You want to give more than one examples to make GPT understand that how to give me the output. So to do that, there's a particular way to do that, and how to do that, I'm going to just show you. What I'm going to do uh, is I'm giving some numbers. I will write an output which is like numbers are odd and even, right? But rather than odd and even, I will write true and false, right? So let us make a code, and I will write also make on chat on the chat. I'm going to type that whenever I type an even number, that's a true. And whenever the number is odd, then there's a false. But this is our way. A normal person will not write true and false for odd and even. But to make GPT, suppose we want whenever I type an odd number, you give me a true, and whenever I want to give a false, give me an output as even as true, whatsoever the case may be. So for that, you will need to give an input-output pairs because examples are more than one. But first, let us try for one shot. If I say input equal to 5, I'm pressing Control Enter because I need to make a pair. Output, let us see. I said that it's an odd, I will write a false. So then we write input equal to 4. And this time, because I'm not doing the complete, I want to see if it's working or not. Two shot example means you first give the examples, and then for the last you do not give the example. It's just like training the model. Our expectation is that what we want is because I've said that in the chat that whenever the even is has to come true, let us see what it has learned. I will not going to write output is equal to true right now. Let us see what it has learned with this one example. Input output pair that I've given is just one example. The second task that you're seeing right now, it is the problem I wanted to solve. Example is only the first part. Example is just this much. This is the actual problem that it is trying to solve. Input, output. Now I will execute it and let us see what GPT gives. I'm pressing the enter over here. So it has reasoned it out. To determine the output is equal to 4, we need to understand the pattern or rule the maps the input is given. Input is equal to 5, output is equal to false. We are missing context, but if we assume that the logic checks so and so forth, then it says that output is true if the even number is even. It has reasoned it out. Your model may not be doing, this is a free version, so your model will be doing that. It can differ from model to model. Some models will not do it. It will give you false only or whatever surprise. But at the same time, it's not sure. It is giving us 3 hypotheses. Output is true if number is not 5. Output is true if the number is less than 5. So it is making assumptions over here. This is a new thing for me also. It is trying to make assumption that output is true if the number is even. This is what we started with. But you see, alternatively, it is reasoning it out and is trying to demonstrate it to you. That output is true if the number is less than 5. Output is true if the number is not 5. So this was by chance. It's not sure. But it says that because all 3 fit, then it is saying, reasoning it out, so it is true. You see what it has done. Also, it is giving you a disclaimer, but without more input, the simplest explanation is that the function returns true if its number is even. It is strictly telling you, I'm not sure, but reasoning it out is this way, but it needs more input means it needs more examples. Now, let us, if we want to do this way, right? If the number is less than 5, then give it a true. If the number is more than 5, give it a false. So we can tune it in that way also. First, let me know, have you understood this?
Professor, just to summarize, even in this one, if you just give one condition, that input is equal to 4 equal to true, and then the other condition, if you don't match the condition as false also, the system has to understand and it has to respond back, right? That's the expectation.
That's expect. This system will give the output. That's the thing. It will not ask you, I'm not sure. It will give, it has reason. That is what I told you very beginning. It is that kind of assistant who will give you a response, come what may. That is why I gave you a disclaimer. Don't give in something that you can't evaluate. It's not like a programming. It will not run to error. It will give you something.
Got it. Understood.
So it has reasoned it out. But let us say if you want to make it something like something yes, no, and maybe. Let us say if the input is 5, I say it's maybe. If less than 5, it's a true. Just let me say even true or true. I just writing what I'm going to do in the chat screen. Equal to 5, maybe. Less than 5, true. Greater than 5, false. Some randomly I'm going to just make my task efficient and just copied it. I'm just going to make input is equal to 5. I need output maybe. Input equal to 4 is equal to true. And then again a shift enter. I will make a third pair input equal to 6. Shift enter. Output equal to false. Now I will give input as 10. Let us see what this is reasoning comes. Say, I will leave it blank. And just to let it know that is a problem, that this is the data on which you need to train. This is the data on which you need to test. Let us see. It again trying to reason it out. Check for even to odd. It's not helping because five is maybe this time. It is going to text 2. It is still not clear. Check for prime number status. We didn't even think that prime number it will check for prime numbers, but that logic was not behind our mind. So try grouping outputs 4, 6 moles. Hard to generalize. Okay. Then it says some division rules. Okay. And what is given? Output is true, but we wanted a false. So this has not learned to right now. This means this is a check that this data is not trained properly for your task only. So we need to revise. This is how two-shot learning patterns helps you to test, train, test using generative AI. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to revise. Means this ensures that my this example is not working. So I will revise. Based on the chat only, I will say input 5, but rather than input is equal to, I will make very explicit. Input less than 5, true, and input greater than 5. So at least this model, whichever free version is running, it was not able to catch. Now it will work, I know, because this is very simple. The reasoning it was trying to do, it was trying to give was not matching with. So it will work right now, but I have to be more explicit enough. But this was a few shots, means more than one shot example. I need to give. So similarly, you can use in a different context. In the qualitative analysis class, you will get the sentiment analysis and exercise in which you will be doing the customer review pattern exercise. Is this fine? This is what if this was what. This is fine for everyone. So now I move back. This was my example. This is done. I go back to the slide. So the next pattern that is coming up in your free time is after the class. Please feel free to read these. These examples or this context example are there in the this sheet. 24 pattern prompt patterns examples. Every example is just copy pasted over there. You want to run an example, just copy paste it on your GPT. It will execute it. Keep the things lucid enough. I'm moving ahead. So this was what I was doing. This was your blueprint exercise, that input output pair. This was the contextual output. Now assuming the same thing. This was the exercise we just did. Now moving to the third pattern, that is the template pattern. Very day-to-day use. In template pattern, you give me the output in this format. You specifically tell me summary, give me bullet points, give me uh, this. You very explicitly tell only in this way the output should be formatted. This is the template pattern. This is the blueprint of the contextual statements. By the time you are reading your document also, but This is how that you need to tell these are the placeholders in which the input has to come. And you the output, whatever you are trying to generate, has to fit in this pattern, else don't. This structure that I have given to you in this prompt pattern will give it a structure. And the output you generate either force fit it or don't show it. This is how this pattern works. Example that I have, once you are done reading the PDF, just let me know. The example is already there. Example is there with you. Just let me know once you are done. Let's see if I can demonstrate it. Let me start a text chat. Using your GPT only to demonstrate it. Can I demonstrate?
Yes, Professor.
Just to make sure, just go in your tools, just search the web, please click it, like let it on. The exercise that I have brought for you is uh, this is a URL, some Iran like a bit. What I'm going to do is I want to see if it can access this URL, the free version, and then give me the output. This is some report, means you can click the URL yourself also. Earlier I planned to copy paste it, but I want to just see it right here, right now. Can this free version also do that? I want it to go to this URL, read this report, and then give me the output that has the title, bullet point summary, then a summary in text format in 150 words, and then for no reason I want 3 MCQ questions to be generated and the answers to be at the end based on this report only. This report only I want it to do, nothing else. Okay. So let us see. I will try. With this I have not tried in the free version. I am using the free version so that the GPT screen. So what I'm going to do is will slowly make some changes. First, I'm going to copy it. Uh, from text, as I said, whenever I give you any task, yeah, to do this. So from now on, I'm not giving URL, so it has given you. Don't search. Okay, it has understood. And now, so I will go get information from the URL. Ah, great. So what I have done is after executing, I first just read from now on whenever I use the task, give me the title. That title may not be the same one, but generate a title that is okay. Let me explain it. What is happening over here is uh, from now on, whenever I give you some text, do this. So give me title which is a 6 to 8 word title. It's not mandatory to give me the same title. You can generate a new title, but the way I'm writing, this is not like a placeholder holder. So you have to write the word title colon, and then within this brackets insert the word. Whatever I write inside these two brackets is not what needs to get the output, but replace this what with the word that I'm writing. 6 to 8 word title. Then bullet point summary. Insert 3 bullet points that summarize the text. Each point should not be more than 10 words. This is the placeholder which I'm telling, explicitly telling. I could have also told me give me bullet point summary. But then bullet point summary it can be 2 point also, 10 points also, 50 points also, 3 point also. But I'm very explicitly telling, give me 3 bullet point summary. Then I'm asking it to summarize the text in 150 word with the header of summary. These are the headers that needs to become. These are the where it needs to fill when it gets the information from the URL, and then generate 3 MCQ question for no reason. But I want to show you that it can be done and keep answers at the end. So when I've given it, it has understood. It is asking whenever you're ready. I say get information for this URL. It has went. It has given me title as I expected. The first thing has to be title colon, and then it has given me a title, bullet point summary, 3 bullet points as I requested. Then the summary. For the complete title, it has generated summary. Okay. And then MCQ questions, and these are the 3 MCQ questions that it has generated with the answers at the end. Task achieved. If I have not given it this a template pattern, if I simply go just to demonstrate to you, what I'm going to do is start a new chat and without using that pattern template, get information from the URL. Just copy pasting it. I've not told anything. So it is searching the web, it will come back, but it is very unlikely it will give me the same pattern. So now it has made its own pattern, which is totally different from what I requested. So the idea remains the same, it is Israel news only, but it is not the way I requested. This is how the template pattern helps you. In real life, it helps me when I wanted to have given some certain structure, keep the questions at the first, questions at the end, or do this, do kind of activity. I straight away give me this template. Whenever I'm generating MCQ questions, I tell that give the questions at the top, with the answers at the end. Also give 10 words of justifications or solution, how this answer will, explanation to the answer. Okay. Everything clear? Making sense?
Yes, Professor.
Once some more people confirm, the last exercise I will do is to tell you how to mix the patterns so that you get a hold. It's a slightly advanced, I'm telling you, not complicated, but I usually do it on the third day, but I have to do it on the first day only. So a couple of people have confirmed that they are comfortable with the template pattern. Can I move ahead? Are any doubts are there, please ask. Yes, Shekhar ji, you will get everything. I mean, the thing is that I sleep around 10, so it takes 2 hours recording will come around at midnight on Google Drive. because it's getting recorded on Google Drive. So before let us say 8 a.m., 9 a.m. in the morning, or latest by 10 a.m., you will get the URL to. I will upload it on Google YouTube so that it's easy. I just give you the playlist and you can view. Each day you will get recording. So I'm moving to the last part because people were I have not stopped in between, so it's dinner time also for many people. And so the last thing is that mixing of prompts. So what happens is one prompt pattern in isolation is good. Because you appreciated that in the last two, three patterns that I've covered, they are good. But if you start mixing, you use one pattern along with the second patterns, there's not an additive effect, the effect becomes multiplier. Then the real beauty of prompt patterns come. Once you understand that how you can mix the patterns, this pattern one with pattern three, then the output can be more structured. Right now, this output that you were getting was the example that I have is because I have taught you only three patterns. I am going to mix persona pattern and the template pattern using the same example that we have done till this point in time. But use the both the examples in one go. So from now on, whenever you generate, it's the same thing. So there was a template pattern, but this was act as a doctor and tell me about India. This was the first thing that we were doing. And there is no text, there's nothing to worry about. What is going to happen is it is going to summarize that text because right now I've deleted that 75 word limit. It will generate any number of words which I'm not sure. The reason I have written it in a second point is that first I will pass the first. You can pass complete thing also in one go, but do not paste change the order. But as it's the first day, I'm doing it in your screen only. But I'm going to start and first I'm going to start a new chat. It makes Israel go away from its memory, and first I'm just copy pasting it. Same thing. It will do the same thing. Roger did something that got it. So this was the template that I supplied. Now I'm going to mix persona. It is the same. Act as a doctor and tell me about India. So now you see, I never not told and not given URL also. But the output that is getting generated, it's in that format. I tell some Indian healthcare landscape doctors overview, bullet points, some summary has come up, and then some three random MCQs have come up and with their answers. So this is the way you mix the patterns. This is one of the examples. I have a pattern 2 example that is going to use tomorrow. Example 2 of mixing from patterns, question refinement and flip interaction. So tomorrow we will discuss these first two, flip interaction, question refinement, and then I will show you a second way. These examples will keep on coming. I will not be able to go more complex, but when I was used to do 4 days workshop, it is going to be not only two patterns, mix three patterns, but that will be too complicated or too much stuffing that is not needed for part of this workshop only also. But mixing two, three patterns, more than two patterns also, that will become too complicated. I'm not going to do that. But overall, this is a point in time I would like to stop. But if, most all the doubts are most welcome. Anything we need to revisit, uh, we can revisit right now. If there is no doubt, means no new content is coming, people can leave. But I'm here 15-20 minutes, whatever time you need to have any clarifications.
So just one question. I just wanted to know that if at all LLM works, how exactly it decodes it, how exactly it processes it. So
That is
that's
the process of tokenization. If you recall, Miss, the simple analogy to in non-technical terms I used to give is if you remember the telegrams that used to be sent word by word count was there, and we get charged based on the words we are sending. So when in our it's not taught in schools now, but we were taught that how to write the words in small, like don't write TWO, write two, and in small letters, right? But you were charged by number of alphabets that you were trying to, a number of letters that you were trying to transmit. Similarly, it doesn't understand your English. It has it words. It breaks it down into the tokens. Okay, and that token is like an analogy from the Telegram also. Only that it breaks like this word is written right. Discuss. So it has been trained to break this world into tokens that goes behind a scene, and it understands those tokens. It doesn't understand your English. It understands their coding, that mathematical code, that 0 1 combinations, that tokens that go behind a scene, and then it tries to predict based on this kind of token what is the next best token that attaches as the output, and then it starts generating out. Given this much sentence that has been built, like you see, rising solution. What is the next best word that can come? Now, once this much has been built from what is the rising solution to what is the next best one, then it inserts healthcare. Then this much, when what is the next one? And it happens so fast that it looks like a fluid. River is flowing that it generates everything in one go.
Okay, sir.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. But any doubt, I'm still here, Miss. Okay, I don't know problem. Thank you.
So, Professor, I was just doing some activity. I was just trying to have an Excel sheet and was trying to find out or do some descriptive analysis on the Excel sheet. And I did this activity on this Chat GPT. The answer of my Excel, which I've done it like manually, was different as compared to what Chat GPT has given it to me.
I had a embarrassing situation myself also. I asked, forgot, and I used it as a calculator. And I was simple calculator, 6 digits, 3 digits number, and I asked it to sum it up. I didn't check. I just copy pasted it and I went somewhere. I said that, Arey, this is I done it on a software. I didn't tell what, and I posted it. That it's software why you are checking it, but that was that person manually set in calculator. There was a difference of 20 points. So Chat GPT is not meant. That is the reason not meant for calculation tasks or those tasks uh, for which a
but
precise
but the
solution is. It
same
is
thing but the same thing when I tested with like DeepSeek, it has given me the right answer.
so that
So
is what. No, no, just wait. The reason is that just go in. Let me go to the side array. Uh, will it show it over here? Yeah, it will show it over here. Now you see the model capabilities are different. You see over here, OpenAI flagship model for complex tasks. It is well suited for problem solving across domains. Okay. The moment I move to more complex within GPT-o3, OpenAI well-rounded, powerful model, excellent in math, science, coding, visual reasoning, technical writing, and instructions following ideas for complex multiple setup. This is what you were doing, and this is what resonates with what I was telling somewhere down that use the model which suits your needs. In case your new needs are OpenAI miss these needs, then you have to use that model. Every model is not. That was analogy. Every car is not perfect for everyone, and you some car
so
whatever
did
suits your
you
needs.
did you check it like the one that does fantastic work with that of like mathematical calculation, which model like suits better as compared to ChatGPT? So did you have done some sort of research on that?
See, I had this. I have pasted it on pasted over here. Okay. Uh, Let me check if I have that image. Hmm. Sure, yes. I made it for a practical task rather than analysis. My practical task, immediate task is: can you generate a document? Can you generate a PPT? Can you generate an Excel? And it is slightly difficult for me right now to locate it, but let me check if I can locate that image.
Because for qualitative analysis we have to use it, right? So
Qualitative data analysis is not an issue. Qualitative data analysis is a because that's a text, that's not numbers. That is very easy.
no,
For it.
quantitative, sorry.
So quantitative data analysis you are doing if on Google Colab on day one. The Google Colab, you will going to. This is what I wanted to show. Right now, my immediate task was to get into documents, PowerPoints, PDF, Excel sheets. So then it says that only GPT 4.1 for all the other models that I'm having will not be able to generating the output. Other models said that just copy paste it, and do that. This was one of the screens. I made an analysis. I was planned to show you someday, but not that was not the agenda for today. Because somewhere down the line, this question comes, model-wise comparisons. That's why I kept it handy. That
Yes,
which
and
models.
this same activity of doing the descriptive analysis, I find like many of the LLMs were not doing it right. And if at all, the few of the LLMs that you are showing here, I tried with them also. For few of the questions, they have given the correct answer, but other questions they were still giving the wrong answers.
They are not
So
meant for this
posing the
answer.
students,
They are not meant for this task. They are meant to help you the thinking ability. So that is where Google Colab and the quantitative section instructor will come. That how to do using prompts within Google Colab. You can code using Python. How, if that Google Colab was not used, how you should have ideally used it. You give the data and you tell that I wanted to draw, let us say, a scatter plot. Okay, so you tell and just ask it to give the code. It will give you the code, but run it in a code that is in a software that is meant to run a code.
right? This same sort of coding, if you done it like with Manus, it does a fantastic job. So I hope
So
so that
if the software is made specifically for something, it will do. And but else it is like you generate the code using the free version and then run it on
So I think that will be
software.
a good place to show the students that this is where the LM fails. So I think that will be a good place to show them that you can have a descriptive analysis, but don't go for using LLMs because they might give you wrong answers. So this can be an example, right, where we can show the students not to
This
use
is
it.
a common. That's why the disclaimer. If you're not have the capacity to evaluate, do not use it. Do not use it for tasks because you had the capacity to evaluate that this output is not matching. And okay, one of the best practices that I will be is also to make sure to start as we start a descriptive analytics, make sure that GPTs understand the data. It can happen. First of all, the data has its limitation as you are asking tokenization and all. I explained it. So it's not that you can pass millions and millions of rows like you can pass in Python. It cannot happen. It's the limit of number of tokens it can be sent to the model, in number of tokens it can then generate as an output. And by default, the number of tokens that can be sent are less, are more, way more than what the you get as an output. So, a couple of tasks, uh, you cannot ask for multiple things in one single prompt. If the task is tedious, you have to give it step by step. Input also, there's a limitation of number of data points that can go up, so you cannot supply huge databases. For that, you can do what the thing is that you give a snippet of the data and ask it for run. I want to run this analysis. Give me the Python code, and then copy that Python code in the actual Python library, either Python software, and then run it. There's a limitations to that.
Yes, I think that's a good idea.
Before that, also you have to make sure that it can run the data. Before running the descriptive analysis, you have to ask, tell me summary of the data, how many rows it has, how many columns it has. Then you will know, has it read all my 50, 100, 500 columns? Has it run all my rows? Else you will know that only this much data has been read.
Or we can do like something like once we have the output or the descriptive analysis, we can go for the summarization of that with the help of various LLMs. I
No,
think
so
that will be a good use case.
the way I teach statistics is like you do the first, you understand the data, right? Show the header. If you go to our programming, show the data headers. What are the heads? Show me that sample rows. Sample data, you first check that all the rows have been read or not. If you do all the analysis, you are wasting so much energy. If after generating a summary, doing all the tasks in the summary, you come to know that three columns were not read, and all the analysis is wasted because you are
No,
getting a
no.
free versions.
What I'm saying is that first of all, have an Excel, do your descriptive analysis, get the data, and then paste that into different LLMs to get the different output or different analysis of it. think that
Why
will be a
you
good
want to
activity.
why you want to do that once the Google Colab is there? Why you want to have so many comparisons? Once there is an authentic software, you can that can run your output, your bit code. You can use generative AI is actually the basic models are not meant for that task that you want to do. Model-wise comparisons. If your task is to run a simple linear regression, maybe you are afraid of, for persons are afraid of coding. Nobody is asking you to code. The instructor that who will come on day three will tell you,
Right,
this
right.
is my
But
data.
but with that descriptive analysis, you can have a prescriptive analysis, right? So prescriptive analysis can be done very, in a better way as compared to, if we go for our own interpretation. So we can use different LLMs to have a different prescriptive analysis for the same problem.
It's your choice, but that's not needed if you wanted to have a analytics. It's just like you want to write a report in multiple formats. Is what you can take the output from Python and just paste it and ask it to write the report. What you are asking is not the because if you run a simple linear regression or multiple linear regression, the values will remain the same if the software is doing it perfectly. The values will remain same. What you are asking me is like writing a report in different formats. Why you want a different viewpoints if you're running a simple linear regression or multiple linear regression or any analysis for that point in time? Why you want the values to fluctuate for the same data? Why
No,
they will should fluctuate?
values will remain same. For example, if you are having a regression and you are having, a very much like very output of that particular regression. So once you have the output, you can ask